What's up, y'all, man? We back with another EP. This is the Gary Watkins podcast. I appreciate you all tuning in again, man. It's been a while.
Been a little bit.
It's been a little bit, maybe about a month, maybe almost 2 months. But we back, man. Been a lot going on. Had to take care of some business. Not saying this is not business, but uh, other stuff had to be attended to. You know what I'm saying?
Had a lot of action.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, September, October was crazy, right? So
That's a good thing.
yeah. First, I want y'all to be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on all the notifications for future content. And yeah, man, we about to get right into it. So y'all got a guest with me.
Hey.
Got one of the biggest entrepreneurs in my area. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I appreciate that.
No, bro. Like, I just want you to give a brief introduction to yourself, man. And just talk to me right quick.
I'm Wayne Woodard. On most platforms like CEO Wayne Wealthy. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I moved down to Macon a little over 10 years ago now. I started off with a clothing brand, which grew into a t-shirt printing business and graphic design business, which we have still over, which that business is about 6 or 7 years old now. And that's over on 3rd Street now, 371 3rd Street. And we also have Creative Space, which we're in now, the Imagine 584, which this actually used to be the location of the t-shirt shop. So we relocated from here to over there and decided to keep the space and, do something different with it. So
Right.
that's what the Imagine 584 came. And I also own a rental car business. And it's called Ambitious Rentals, and we have access with, partnerships with other rental car businesses. We have probably access to over like 40 vehicles in our fleets together. So, this kind of partnership, with a bunch of people. And I don't think I own anything myself. I always try to partner with people just to, everybody got similar visions. So why not come together and make it bigger than what you can do on your own?
For sure.
Yeah. So that's what I got going on. I guess a condensed version of it.
Hey, that's a condensed version. Man. We're gonna dive deeper into detail. You know what I'm saying? So Wayne, bro, like, how you been doing, man? How's life treating?
So far so good. Just been busy. Had some more relatives move down here to kind of, help them with doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever they trying to do as far as growing themselves and whatever I can do to help. I can help a lot better when they're closer to me, opposed to like them being up in New York. So now I got my sister down here and then my niece, and then another niece and her fiance. So, building, start finally people seeing the vision and bringing the village to me. So it's been good.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
So I think first question that come to mind, I don't got a script or anything.
No, we good.
So first question that comes to mind is what brought you to Georgia?
Geico, believe it or not. I mean, there's been a lot of issues with Geico here lately. But they are the ones that brought me here to Macon. I was working with them over in New York, in Buffalo, for about a year or two, and I was like going crazy with the company, like really doing well for myself and growing. And the company itself was growing really well. I mean, a whole lot at that time as well. But I was up for a promotion, and I could have waited. Like they had a promotion freeze because they ran out of space in that building on where they can put new teams. So opposed to me waiting, it was like, well, if you can wait for a next, for us to figure this out, or we can put you in a different location if you want to do that. I said, well, I love Buffalo, but I also had lived in Atlanta for a little bit, so I was like, let me try going back down south. I had always wanted to come back down to Atlanta, so the closest thing was Macon.
For sure.
Never seen Macon before, never heard of Macon. The first time we visited Macon was my moving into my apartment. Like I didn't even come and do like a visit to see what it was like or nothing like that before I came down here. I just came and that was it.
Man. Yeah. So you was born in Buffalo, New York.
Born and raised. Yep.
And so when you came to Atlanta the first time, how old you was then?
So when I was came to Atlanta, I was probably 18, 19.
You came to college.
Nah.
You was in college or something?
Yeah, so like I graduated from ITT Tech, IRP to them.
Oh,
So I went to technical school to get my associate's degree. And the campus that they had there in Buffalo, they didn't have like a 4-year program. They had one in Atlanta. My cousin had lived in Atlanta and went to Morehouse all his 4 years of school. So his last year, because he's 1 year ahead of me, his last year was like, he was like, yo, why don't you come move down here? And you can do the bachelor's program with ITT Tech down here, and you know what I mean. Well, you can move in with me, and we, roommate or whatever. So I said, all right, cool. So my goal was initially to come down here to go to school, but for some reason they didn't have enough people to enroll to start that program, so I didn't go. But I mean, I kind of got an honorary Morehouse experience that year because I was going to classes. I was on the campus all the time, like doing everything. Like I actually just went to Morehouse Homecoming this past weekend, and it was just like a little running joke, like, "Yo, how is it that you were the only person that didn't go to our school, but you like always active
yeah.
in high school stuff? Like, hey man, catch me in the library, the calf, all that cool stuff. Like I went there with the book bag and everything, looking like a straight up student. But neither here nor there. But
Right.
I got exposed to like entrepreneurship heavy, like black entrepreneurship
Mhm.
heavy there. Because in Buffalo, when I was growing up, I didn't see any black people doing well for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Outside of selling drugs or out ODing, like,
Yeah.
or just working. You know what I'm saying, for somebody else. And I didn't know that's what I didn't want for myself. So I buried myself in work, because that's all I knew. But once I got exposed to that, I was like, yo, I gotta have this. It's
Right.
gotta be me. You know what I'm saying? So
So coming out of school, growing up, what you originally wanted to be?
when I came out of school,
Grade school, high school.
carpenter.
Mm.
Yeah. Like I wanted to do something with construction, carpentry, something like that. Is what I thought about. I mean, that's what I thought.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted.
Oh, so you wanted to do that. So like what kind of so entrepreneurship, that was never really a thing or a vision for you that you had for yourself?
Not that young. Like when I came to my first homecoming in Atlanta, that's what made me say, "Yo, I want to go ahead and do this like entrepreneurship thing." Because I seen so many black people doing well for themselves, and I started asking questions. Right, like, "Yo, what you do?" So I'm saying I'm an entrepreneur, and this is before like entrepreneurship was super sexy, or they just like I own issues that you got to deal with.
Right.
But starting isn't your issue anymore. You dealing with, oh, how can I get more customers? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How can I distribute out more product? Like it's the same concept that any business has. Like, how can I grow?
No, that's real. That's real. So, man, my next question is like, you said before ambitious graphics was a thing. You said you had like your own clothing line or something?
Yep. Clothing brand called Comfort for Suckers. Basically everything you want is outside your comfort zone. So Comfort for Suckers. So that was the clothing brand I had with my sister. Excuse me. It was a idea that she kind of had as far as for a clothing brand, but I think during that time I was doing network marketing, and it was something I would teach my team, because you got to kind of be really uncomfortable a lot of times working those type of businesses, because you got to like go out and recruit people and stuff like that, talk to strangers and all that stuff. So I was always telling them like, yo, everything you want is outside your comfort zone. Like you got, like, I know you don't want to go talk to these strangers and pitch them your business, but you're gonna have to, and that's where you make the money. So I was telling them all the time. So when my sister came to me and was like, oh, we should start a clothing brand, like that was like immediately what I was like saying, like, yo, it's gonna be called Comfort for Suckers. She like, all right, I'm with it. I just want to start a clothing brand. I didn't care what it was called. So we partnered up, started that. And it was, a little rough in the beginning, but the meaning really resonated with people. And I used to throw parties back in the day also, and that just kind of helped with me moving the clothing brand, like my connections from that, and just just knowing, and me not knowing, taking no for an answer, because that was the whole idea behind Comfort for Suckers too, right? Like not taking no for an answer, you being uncomfortable with the word no. No means not right now. You know what I'm saying? Like just come back later. It might be a different story.
No, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? So really did well with that, and was able to quit my job with Geico from the money I was making with the clothing brand. So I started that in 2014, and then think around 2016 is when Ambitious Graphics was born. But I didn't really want to start Ambitious Graphics. I really only wanted to print for myself. I want to learn how to print, and that way I can lower my overhead. You know what I'm saying? So if I was doing it myself, then I didn't have to pay nobody. Or really, it was just me being impatient, because I was tired of waiting on other people. You know what I'm saying? Well, turnaround time. Like their turnaround time was horrible, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I was like, man, like I need my stuff ASAP. You know what I'm saying? So how can I make it that so I can get it quicker? I make it myself.
Right.
So I just started kind of trying to learn that, and then through a series of like different people, I ended up into the print business, and then I ended up partnering with my brother, who is my brother now, Andre Assai, and then we came up with Ambitious Graphics. Him, myself, and then another friend of ours, Keith Middleton, and we all partnered up. Right, I mean, we met down the street at Taste and See for our first meeting, and we was like, yo, we gonna grind out of my second bedroom of my apartment for a year, and then after that we need to be finding a location. Like a goal needs to be only be in the house for a year. Like after that we need to be in a spot downtown Macon for sure.
Dog.
Yeah.
No, that's an interesting story right there.
For sure.
So even coming up with the name, how did you guys put that together?
So the name was already there before we kind of got together, because one of my mentors who actually taught me how to print, it was a older white gentleman, and he was like, yo, he's one of the ones that kind of was trying to push me to start my own print company, which I kind of was pushing against that. He like, because he's an older white dude, he like, black people really don't mess with me like that. So if you want to make some extra money to help invest in your brand, you can start your own business, run it out of here, and then funnel your work through here. And I mean, you can like, but look at me, black people aren't gonna automatically come to him. And I mean, for sure, he definitely don't look like, he definitely conservative Republican type. You know what I mean? So like,
I can envision one.
Yeah. So, but he was super cool, but he definitely had his way with words that wasn't pleasant. You know what I'm saying? So I could see why a lot of people, like, not even just black people, just whole nother story. But yeah, for sure. But he was like, so why don't you think of a name of a company and you can run it through here? And I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. He was like, well, just think of a name and then at least let's entertain it. So I was like, all right. So sat down for a minute, going back and forth for a few days, and then I finally came up with the name of Ambitious Graphics. Cause like for me, I wanted it to mean something. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the name to resonate with something that was, real close and endear to me. Cause that's what I feel like if your business is something that you enjoy doing or something that has some kind of significant meaning outside of just like money or just trying to get, make a quick dollar, it's gonna make you stay in it a little longer. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hold on to it a little longer. You're gonna like kind of go through those rough patches, because they will come. Yeah. It's not a if, it's a will. So when they come, having a strong name that resonates with you or having a reason that you're doing that business that's external from money, because the money's gonna come and go. Like if you have something like that's gonna really sit with you, you know what I mean? You're gonna rock with that name. It ain't gonna be that easy to be like, oh, forget that company. I'm gonna go do this new shiny thing over here.
Yeah, no then.
So yeah, that's kind of where the Ambitious Graphics thing came from. But when we got together, kind of same concept with my sister, right? When I was like, yo, this is the name I want for the clothing brand. Like when we sat down, they like, yo, what we gonna name? And I was like, yo, I already got the name. I had already purchased a domain name and all of the social media handles whenever I thought about it.
Oh man.
And I had just set that to the side. Like it wasn't like I wasn't gonna do anything. I could still pushing my clothing brand. Because at that time that was my main source of income because I had quit my job. So
apparently, the white guy, he saw something in you, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like definitely. So I mean, hoping I can run into him, like, cause I don't have any of his contact, cause like we kind of had a falling out, and I went back and we said our kind of goodbyes and that's it. Yeah, but after that, I hadn't really spoke to him or seen him again since then. Yeah. But if I do, you know what I'm saying, much love to him.
For sure. Yeah. He's from Macon?
I believe so.
Or you met him in Macon?
I met him in Macon. Yeah. Okay. So I know him from Macon. So, but yeah, he definitely, put me on. Yeah. For sure.
That's hard. So when did you know Ambitious Graphics, or when you guys knew it was like this it right here, like we're in the right direction, people gravitating towards y'all, and y'all got clients returning and recommending you? Like when did you know? Is there like a moment that come to mind?
I can't think of nothing like a pivotal moment for sure. I mean, because we had a good amount of moments, like especially in the apartment, like, because I mean that's where it all started. Like obviously once we got this first location, it was like oh man, this is serious. But it was moments in the apartment because when we operated the business out of the apartment, we didn't operate it as if it was a business being operated out of a house. So what we were doing was we had invoicing software, so we would invoice all of our customers. Like, I would not let nobody come to my house to pick up. I would always tell them like, hey, I'm out doing a pickup or a drop off. If you want, I can meet you. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not at the shop right now, type ordeal. So to a lot of the customers, they didn't know that we were operating outside of the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They would put their order in online or over the phone. We had had a Google Voice phone number for the business. So whenever they call in the business line, I'm answering it. Thanks for calling Ambitious Graphics. How can I help you? Like, it's all professional, so you won't know the difference. It's not like, yo, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like, or they call my personal cell phone number, nothing like that. And then, like I said, the invoicing and the receipts and everything, it was just all up. You know what I mean? It was all right. So we did that. And that's what really helped set us apart from a lot of other people that was, maybe printing from the house.
Right.
And then we just kind of made sure that like we kept putting something away, because the whole goal was, hey, let's get to a location downtown.
Right.
So the whole time while we're um, working, we coming downtown to have fun, obviously. That was the one thing, but also we scouting. We looking at buildings, we trying to find, some spot that we can get into. And then finally stumbled across this spot before they even start renovating it or doing anything to it. Well, we had one location previous to this, but that just kind of fell through for whatever reason. So we ended up having to like scramble to find this spot because at that time I had I was what was going on? So when we had the other location, I had canceled the lease on my apartment and was gonna move in with a homegirl of mine because I didn't need that second bedroom no more to print out of because we was having a new location. Well, for what I thought was gonna have a new location. So I asked one of my homegirls, can I move in with her to save me some money on rent and all the overhead that I had at my apartment? She like, cool. So that cut my expenses down a lot. But now we don't have a place to print out of because I done canceled the joint.
Right.
So now I'm like, we scrambling because once we find out the other spot like fell through, we like, yo, what we gonna do? Like people, we still getting orders. Like, so for a little bit, we actually had to print out of the back of my business partner's parents' church for like 6 months while we was trying to find a place and get moved in.
All right, and I just want to pause you right there. Are y'all listening to this right now? Like, for all the people that's aspiring to be an entrepreneur, being independent, whatever it is that you want to be, this is the stuff that come with it. Unexpected issues and problems and things you can't even anticipate.
Not at all.
Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So understand what come with the territory is what I'm pretty much getting at, bro.
No, definitely. But yeah, we was in the back of the church for I think it was about 6 months or so. But like I said, the way we was operating, nobody would know because nobody knew where our headquarters was.
Right.
Nobody was coming to the spot. So we just kept pushing, you know what I'm saying? And then like I said, we found this spot and then we found it right before they start renovating it. So we were fortunate enough to be able to come in and tell them how we wanted it built out right from the beginning. And finally got everything situated with that and moved in here. And then like I feel like that was one of those pivotal moments. Like once we finally moved in, some of the companies or the people that we knew that had companies or connections with certain companies, they actually start sending us the big orders. You know what I'm saying? Like we were surviving off of good orders, but like the big ones, like, yo, why don't y'all send us that? They're like, oh well, we will.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they had an idea maybe that we was operating out of a spot, like, cause it's like, why can't we come place an order or nothing like that? But once we finally made the announcement, like, yo, we finally got our spot, come to this location now to put your order in, pick it up, and then taking pictures of the progress and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, okay, now these boys is real deal.
Yeah.
So then we start getting the big orders. Like we probably almost doubled or either doubled or tripled our income from the apartment to our first year in this building.
Dog.
Yeah.
No, that's hard right there, bro.
So
And then it's like it's another saying that I like to use, bro. You gotta spend money to make money, kind
oh
of
yeah,
deal.
for sure.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. Like so it was definitely a lot of sacrifice. Just eating whatever we could figure it out.
I
You know what I'm
remember them
saying?
days
All right,
right
the
now.
struggle meals.
Yeah.
And then just cutting back on like hanging out and just doing different things that we would normally want to do or whatever, but it was all worth it at the end. You know what I'm saying? It's still sacrificing going on. So like I just know with every level that you go up is a whole nother level of sacrifice that you got to make. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's one of the things that really I took away from I guess my origin story is that every time I did something to really sacrifice something, I was able to go up another level. You know what I'm saying? Every single time I was able to sacrifice, I had to sacrifice. Well, I didn't have to, but when I did, the next level was waiting on me. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to conquer it. So.
Yeah. So what was the vision? I don't even want to say the vision. how did the conversation come about when it came to Imagine 584, which is where we're currently at with this EP right now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Turn up, turn
yeah,
up. So we ended up kind of outgrowing this space for the t-shirt shop, but what was happening, like we had Perry, Perry Clark.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So he used to come in here and record a podcast like while we was closed, like during the time when we were closed on Sundays. And I think I end up having somebody else end up asking me to do the same thing. And this is as it was a t-shirt shop. So, cause it just, the aesthetics was nice. You know what I mean? People just liked the way it looked or whatever. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And then whenever we finally was about to close it, I was like, yo, I don't want to get rid of the space. I want to figure out something else to do with it. And I had went to Buffalo to help my dad because he had got sick. And I had went to a shared workspace to work out of, so I can because I just couldn't work at the house. Like I just can't. I'm too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Yeah.
have a separation of space. Like I can't. Even whenever I had to work at the apartment, like my downstairs, I tried to make sure that that was like straight up like personal. But only work happened in my second bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Everything else in the house was just like regular. Just because I need that separation.
Yeah.
So when I was at my dad's house, I was like, I could never get any work done. So I went and tried to find like a shared workspace. And I came across a spot. Dang, I can't think of the name of it right now, but came like a member and just kind of was looking at it like, yo, this is a dope concept. And they had a podcast room in there, but it was not active. Like they wasn't using it at all. And they're like, well, yeah, we just got the stuff in there. We don't really know what to do with it. And, it's if you want to use it, you can, but you're going to have to figure out how to use the equipment. I'm like, so nobody in here can tell me how to use this?
Yeah.
They're like, nah. And I just peeped in there. I was like, oh, well, it's not that bad. It's just easy stuff to use. And I'm like, yo, why don't we just do something like this and make it like where it can be a space that people, because clearly people were using the space already with Perry, and so I kind of think of whoever other person was that wanted to use the space to record their podcast or just do photo shoots or something like that out of. But I was like, why don't we do that? You know what I'm saying? Make some podcasts, make it accessible for podcasts and then photography. Because I always wanted to use this as a photography studio, even when I was a t-shirt shop, because my goal was like our whole thing when we started Ambitious Graphics was like a print company for the brands. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to be real specific on who we were dealing with. Like, obviously, we're going to print for everybody or whoever wants to come to us. But our target market were people that were interested in starting a clothing brand or who had a clothing brand, because it's hard to deal with a traditional print company as a clothing brand, because especially one that's starting out, because you don't have a whole lot of production right in the beginning. Like you only need a couple here and there. So we tried to tailor our pricing and our minimums and all of that around the clothing brands. So that's kind of what it was all about. So I was like, yo, let's make this a one-stop shop, so where they can actually come in here, order their t-shirts, and then we can do if they want to do a photo shoot here, they can too. But it was just like our work area was so messy, it just could never work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that vision came back alive. It was like, all right, well, we can make this a photography studio. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that came, and then the podcasting up here, and then just like share workspace, just so that way, because everybody don't need to have a whole office, right? You just might need somebody to come in here, meet your clients real quick, and then slide.
Facts.
And that's kind of what it was about. Like, yo, let's create a spot that's comfortable, that's cool for people to be able to come in, work, you know what I'm saying, meet other collectives or creatives, and maybe they can collab together and create their own little thing off on the side while also doing their thing together. I mean, well, doing their thing independently. So, all of it came together. I called two of my brothers and was like, yo, like, what y'all think about this concept? And they're like, yeah, let's run it. And, it was all history. That's how we got it. You know what I mean? We built everything out ourselves. Yeah.
And
and
you
that
say
was it.
y'all built everything out. You talking about like actually the
Like
wall,
actually built it.
these walls, y'all
Yes.
put them up.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't take too much credit for that, but you know, what I mean, they're very handy guys. I mean, I'll come in when I need. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean, they're like, "Yo, do this, hold this, hammer that, nail this." You know, what I'm saying they
yeah.
just kind of instruct me. I just do what they tell me.
No, that's
But
hard.
you know, they got the vision on all of that, like how to actually build it and what to actually do. So,
That's
yeah.
dope.
So shout out to them for that.
Shout out to them guys, man, because y'all created amazing space. Because I'm gonna just kind of tell you like my discovery of Imagine 584.
Yeah.
So I started my podcast, Gary Watkins podcast. I started it in August of last year,
Mhm.
August 2022. And at the time, I did not have a space where I could do the recordings. So if you go look at the whole season 1 of my podcast, it's recorded in various places.
Locations. Yep. Hmm.
And by the time I got, to like episode 7 or 8, and this is no shade or
I got you.
whatever,
I got you.
but if you go listen to it, it's the EP with my guy Khalil West. Shout out to bro, man. Had him to come on. By the way, Khalil West, he was one of the actors in the movie that we had come out in Macon. Is it Loyalty Over Blood? It's on Tubi with Lock Dog and
Yeah. I just watched that the other day. I know.
no,
So
Trust Issues.
trust issues. That's what it is.
Loyalty Over Blood is on the way. Khalil West starring in Trust Issues.
Trust issue. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so I had him come onto the platform and we chopped it up. But when you go listen to it and watch the video, you can tell like I wasn't feeling good. Like I don't know if I got because it was around this time of the year actually, and
Okay.
normally this time of the year is like I get kind of sick and stuff
Flu
like that.
season.
You
Yeah.
feel me?
Hmm.
So I'm on there like, yeah, man. So like I'm
Going through
like
it.
grasping, and then they end up smoking and stuff, and that's making it no better. But
Oh
I didn't want
man.
to be the guy to be like, "Hey, y'all can't smoke,"
Right.
and
Right. Right.
but we're in their place, so who am I to tell
Feeling
them?
what they can do.
Right. But I think they might have asked me like, "You cool with us smoking?" I was like, "Yeah, y'all go ahead." So I just suffered
Right.
through the
Doing the
whole
whole thing.
thing. So that's
Team player.
you know what I'm saying, that kind of deal there. But
Nah.
that's like after I did that EP, that's when I kind of knew like, all right, I gotta start looking like for my own space where I can record and stuff. And I mean, I'm
Right.
looking everywhere. Like, so by the time January 2023 got here, this when Global Soul was next door. I was getting ready to
Hmm.
come holler at the Sneaker Twins, and my girlfriend and I was getting ready to buy my girlfriend a jersey. So as we getting ready to walk in Global Soul, I just look over to my left and I saw the red banner, grand opening. And then I looked at the window, said Imagine 584. The first thing I noticed was the suite right here, because you can see the
You can see.
microphone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hold on, what's going on right here? You know what I'm saying? And then I think it had the QR code in the window, scanned it, and shortly, touch bases with
Right.
you.
Right.
And I'm like, it's so crazy how this happened because I was getting ready to get an actual storage unit
Hmm.
and do photo shoots and podcasting out of
Out of
there.
there. Yeah.
I was getting ready to do that, and it's like this Imagine 584 came at the right time,
At
bro.
the perfect time. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it was for. It's for, like I said, people like you that like, that you don't, because like it's expensive to have a space. Like I've seen so many photographers, and not even saying podcasters, like that's because it's a very new space. But just like speaking on the photography side, like they trump I mean, they kill their business by trying to get a space because like you have to maintain all them bills. So you gotta like kind of book so many shoots to cover that. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? And then on top of that, you like trying to fight to put money in your pocket too. So it's like it's a
mhm.
lot of you gotta work so much and you working in a negative at that point
Yeah,
every month. Like you
just
coming in
about.
just to survive. So
Um,
it's like, yo, why don't you just if the space like it's a membership spot, you know what I'm saying? So you're not responsible for everything. You just responsible for your part. And if done right, you can make money off the space.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? The way that we price it, because you can charge the customer for the price that we charge for the bookings.
Mhm,
So, and you can really charge more. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
To be honest, just looking at the rate for what most photographers charge for in studio shooting. You know what I'm saying? So, It was just something that we was because my other partner, he's a photographer by trade too. So he's like, yo, this if nothing else, we have a place that we can shoot out of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not great, whatever, but we can shoot out of here. Because it's a good spot. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And so
Great location.
yeah, great location. Like people feel comfortable coming down here, like and all. So it's just make it easier for everything. So
The only knock is the parking meters. That's the only
man,
knock.
that's it. That's it. And I was trying to work with them. They might have something else now, but previously I was trying to work with them to try to get something to kind of for our members. Them and then in the back alley.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, in the alley. So
Right.
trying to see if we can figure out something. And because I have some parking spaces in that other parking lot across from the back alley joint.
Wait, you guys have a parking lot?
Well, I rent space out the parking lot.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying, for my rental car business.
Thanks. Okay.
So, but I don't know how much longer they're gonna be there because they're talking about turning that lot into like a hotel. Yeah, so yeah, that's the whole thing. So I don't know. I'm working on it. It's an issue downtown. Period. Like I have the same issue with my customers at the t-shirt shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, I can't find parking. I'm like, yo, just pull up and I'll bring your stuff out to you at this point because it's like, especially if you only gonna be in there for a second.
Thanks.
Like, yo, just pull up. I'll bring your stuff out to you. Don't worry about it. But
Yeah.
I will say, like, I was in downtown before the meters, and parking was horrendous.
Yeah.
It was like, y'all think it's bad now. Parking before the meters was the worst. I remember whenever they first like were gonna install the meters and they had everybody move in their cars before they, installed the meters or whatever. It was so many abandoned cars. Like you'd be
really people just leaving their cars.
just leaving them down here. You know what I'm saying? Because like it was nobody regulating nothing. So it was like just on this block alone. Like I can't speak for the whole downtown, but I just know from me coming back and forth in here, whenever they did it, I'm looking and like they said, yo, y'all need to have y'all cars moved by this date or we gonna tow them. And it was like at least just on this block alone, it was probably like 10 abandoned cars.
That's crazy, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's 10 spots that potential customers could be in, but they're just abandoned cars sitting there. So I mean, it was even harder at that time for my customers to find parking. You know what I mean? Like because nobody will be moving. It would, so everybody don't like the meters. I don't care for them neither, but I don't mind them. You know what I mean? For my customers at least, because now y'all have an opportunity to pull up and hop in real quick and handle business and then slide because now it's an opportunity for space. But just with downtown growing, it's just gonna be worse and worse. You know what I'm saying?
So real quick, what you think about the food scene downtown?
I love it. I love the diversity of food down here. Sometimes it can feel a little repetitive because being down here so much and like I'm always eating at different spots down here. So a lot of them, their menu kind of, blend a little bit. But all in all, I mean, I enjoy the variety. I love, I got my favorites. Piedmont, Cashman's. When I can go, Kenjo's. They're pretty delicious.
Yeah. You just named 3 bangers right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's touch on before we get ready to go into the closing remarks. Let's touch on the rental vehicle business. You guys know.
Yeah, so I guess this is one of those pandemic businesses. Because we weren't all the way shut down, but we were kind of limited to what we can do. So obviously I have more time on my hands to kind of research or, just do different things. And I came across the car rental business. And I started that 2 years ago during COVID. We're coming out of COVID a little bit. And I was like, yo, let me just try something different because one thing that I realized at that moment get around quick, cheap, we got that. If you want to ride in style, we got that. You know what I'm saying? You'll try something different.
So what platform or domain y'all operate off of, like Turo or
So yeah, so basically we started with Turo. We're still on Turo, but we also rent outside of Turo as well. Because one of the things that we realized is that Turo had a lot of fees that we didn't know about at first, and then on top of that, like our customers was like getting beat over the head. Like we were thinking the price that we was charging was the price that our customers was getting charged, but then we found out they were getting charged much more. We like, yo, well, y'all can just give us that money. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's still, we're taking the risk. Like Turo does, help with the risk. You know what I mean? They help mitigate the risk some because of they're almost like an insurance company. So if anything happens to the vehicle, they're going to basically cover it. But, you know what I mean? If it get totaled, then you just out of a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll pay it out, or pay it off or pay it out or whatever. But you still have to go through and trying to get a whole nother car. So if this is your income source, then you taking pennies on the dollar in comparison to taking more,
right?
Because they're taking more. So we were just like, all right, well, forget it. We ain't. For me, I didn't completely leave Toro, but I have some partners that they was like, yo, nah, we done with Toro. I like the platform because it's easy to use and it's just a way to gather customers because there's a lot of people that's clearly on there looking for car rentals. You know what I'm saying? So if I make that connection with them on there, then later I can transition them to being a private rental customer later.
Gotcha.
So I'll use it more so as a customer acquisition platform than anything now. But I mean, they still pay me.
Right.
Yeah. So, but great.
How often you guys get a vehicle rented out? What's the turnaround? And
like this past weekend, we were sold out.
all 40, how many is it?
Yeah, about 40 some vehicles, all of them gone. Because a lot of them, like, we have out on weekly rentals. So some people rent them for weeks on end. Like I had a car going for like 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So
all right, so that's a question right there.
yeah.
So for someone that got a vehicle going for that period of time, is that like a month? Did that turn into a monthly fee or?
No, I only do weekly rentals.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't. I mean, if you want to pay me by the month, I usually don't even take it by the month. I only take it by the week. You just got to keep paying me weekly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes I can do that, but I would prefer to pay because I don't want to lock you in for that long.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It's something, maybe you were looking for a car and then you find a car and now we got to try to negotiate. Oh, I only wanted to keep it. I only needed it for 2 weeks. So can you refund me back? Or now you keeping my car for longer than you really need it. No, let's do it weekly. So if because your situation can change week by week, right?
Right.
I mean, your financial situation can change, right? Well, you can't even afford it. So maybe you need to give it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to have something that you can't afford, or I don't want you to have something that you don't need.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So every week, he was paying me, you know what I'm saying, for them 8 months.
So was it like a smaller vehicle that client had? Or?
Yeah, it was like a little Hyundai Elantra.
Gotcha.
It's brand new though. It's good.
Man, that's dope, bro.
Yeah, so it was some good money. It was basically, I ain't gonna say guaranteed income, but yeah, I mean, it's really good. Like, and then like I said, once I first got into the business and started seeing the money that I was making off of it, I was like, man, this is crazy. And then just seeing that the demand was so high, like I didn't realize what was going on at the time. But hindsight, what was going on is at that time, because of the pandemic, they weren't making a lot of new cars. So what happened with Enterprise and all of the bigger rental car companies, they replenish their inventory like once or twice a year. And what happens is that they get kind of the pick of the litter right from the dealership, right from the manufacturer. So they get a certain amount of cars set to the side for them just for a rental car.
Right.
And whenever they had that chip shortage and the vehicle manufacturers kind of had slowed down with production, because they were giving them a bulk price, they was like, yo, y'all gonna have to wait because we can only get so many vehicles out right now. we rather make top dollar by selling them right to the consumer. So what happens is that a lot of those enterprises and stuff, they sold off their old inventory to make room and have money for new inventory that never came, or they couldn't buy the same amount that they normally could.
Right.
So now it opened up the market for private rental companies such as myself and my partners. So yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So we came in at a really pivotal time, like it was a perfect timing type ordeal. And you know what I mean, just kind of stick and stay, like made our mark in the industry. So now it's like it's interesting. Like one of the things I tell like a lot of the people I coach is like when you become synonymous for what you do, then that's how you know you're in a good space, right? You really made a way for yourself in that industry. So people will see me, I'm sure it happened to you, like, oh, that's my rental car guy, or that's my t-shirt guy. They don't know my name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, I take that. Some people take offense to that. I love it.
No, that's a great,
you know what I mean?
compliment, bro.
That's that.
You know
I mean, you're doing something right.
Yes.
So like that's what I'm getting, because I'm used to being the t-shirt guy for the longest. But now it's like some people know me to just being their rental car guy, and they have no idea that I do t-shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll obviously expose them to that, but it's just be interesting, like being out and about, and they be like, "Oh yeah, that's my t-shirt guy. That's my guy right there." And then people be like, "Oh no, that's my rental car dude." Yeah. Huh? You do t-shirts?
Kind of got a mystique.
Yeah.
Like, who are you really?
Right. So, but it's just staying down and really staying focused on your industries, and really working. You know what I'm saying? Really getting to it, marketing yourself at all times, at any time. You know what I'm saying?
So how long you guys been in the industry with renting out vehicles?
We coming up on, I think it's almost 3 years now.
Oh wow! See, I had no clue it's been that long.
Yeah. It's almost 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and we gonna wrap it up in a few and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like even when I first met you, or even my first time, I can remember coming here, because Ambitious Graphics, it's been around how long?
Since
this location.
This location, we've been out of this location for like 2 years. Right. Probably 2 years. No. It's been longer than that. It's been about 3 years, because I think I started the rental car business whenever we kind of transitioned over there. So it had to be like 3 years ago.
Right. So, but I'm saying, like, when you guys first came to this location.
Oh, it's 2016.
Facts. So, one of my lady friends at the time, yeah, I can remember her name, but I can't remember her artistry name.
Okay.
But I remember us coming here because did you guys have a recording studio thing going on at one point in time?
Yeah, so my partner Dre, he produces. So every now and then he'll like have like, cuz his studio, his computer, you know what I mean, he got the studio equipment on there, so he would make beats, you know what I'm saying, when we're not doing t-shirts and stuff like that. So I think he had a couple people come in here and do some vocal work.
Yeah, so that's like one of my first memories I can remember coming here, because I brought my lady friend at the time. She was random and stuff.
Okay.
I brought her by here, and I'm like, man, it's a t-shirt shop, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure, like, even after that, I came back here maybe once, twice more, probably asked, how much you guys charge. And it's just like, ever since then, it's like, I can remember when I stopped seeing the Ambitious Graphics, and I'm like, dang, they don't
moved. They went out of business. A lot of people just thought we got them went out of business.
Yeah, so no, man, like your journey is so dope. Just kind of hearing you going into detail, bro.
Yeah.
Just even, how about this? Like, so with you being from Buffalo, New York, do you have that, or did you have that accent, or do you?
I don't. It wasn't a strong like New York accent, but people can tell. I guess I'm from New York because I don't sound like I'm from down here.
If you wouldn't have told me you was from there, I would think you'd be from around here somewhere.
Really? Maybe I got an accent down here now. I mean, my people tell me that, like when I go home, they're like, "Bro, you sound like you got an accent now." Like, I don't hear it, but whatever.
Were you kind of conscious of that, like when you first came down here and people?
A little bit. I mean, it wasn't like crazy. Like it's not something I thought too much about. It's not a lot I think about, right? It's outside of like like limiting thoughts, I'll say. You know what I'm saying? I don't think too much about limiting thoughts because I feel like that's a hindrance, and what you think about is what will become, right? So if you thinking like, yo, this is going to do whatever, then yeah, you start running into those roadblocks or issues. So I just never really thought about it. I just kept, moving. I try to, like, if I'm talking too fast, I'll slow down. You know what I'm saying? I try not to, if you're going into a new market or a new area, you just gotta like kind of conform with that area and adapt a little bit and just understand that you're different from where you're coming from, right? And so you can, be the change. You have to like kind of be a part of the change. You know what I mean? You got to be a part of it before you can be the change. So, just chill out. Like for the longest, I didn't do nothing in making. Like I just came to work and chilled, and finally like decided to start talking to people and going out and doing stuff. But I wanted to see the lay of the land. Like I was going out, but I wasn't talking to nobody. I was just like in the shadows in a sense. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like checking everything out. I'm looking at people and
Very
saying,
observant.
just trying to see who's the players around here, who's doing all the handshaking whenever they come into the club, who's everybody's greeting, who everybody's stopping for. Okay, these are the key players around here. Okay. Right. So at some point I need to introduce myself to them. And just see how they moving around. All right, that's cool. All right,
that's very strategic thinking.
Yeah, you have to, like, because I knew whenever I came here, I wanted to be different from where I came from. All right, and I was trying to do whatever I could to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not fall back into the same ways or the same people that I were used to hanging with there. Because a lot of people, they want to relocate to another city or another place, but you can relocate and be in the same situation.
Yeah. So, and I hate to keep extending.
No,
but it's
good.
kind of like I get exactly where you're coming from because it is like a saying you got to see more in order to be more.
Right.
It is true, but I think change, it truly, like real change, truly start from inside.
Definitely.
So you can actually be in the same environment around the same people in these same kind of patterns and stuff, but change is kind of like it's almost like a light switch on the inside of you,
right?
Like, and only you, I ain't gonna say only you can click it, but it takes something special to flick it, and
for sure.
And then that's when people start noticing, like, bro, you changing,
right?
Or that
something
kind of
different. Yeah, something different about you.
So I guess it applies person to person differently.
Definitely.
But no, bro, that's real, bro.
Yeah, so I definitely had to, that's why I had to like sit back and chill for a little bit before I even made the approach, because you get like, even if you go to certain places, like you go to a different place, it's a certain individual that you're comfortable with talking to.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a feeling, it's just like a look, it's something about them that it kind of feels familiar. But the thing is that if you want different, you got to do different, right? So it was like whenever I would see or have that feeling with certain individuals, I would be like, wait, nah, that's not who I need to talk to.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? That's not who I need to go to and say what's up to, because I feel comfortable talking to them. And they probably attracted to me too, because sometimes little people will come up to me and I'll be like, nope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, just keeping it pushing. But the people that I was like really hesitant on talking to, or who I was really uncomfortable with talking to, those would be the people that I was like, all right, this is what I need to do. Like, it's going to feel weird. It's going to be uncomfortable, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Just like, you're not physically hurt. It's not going to physically hurt you, right? Like, if it's not physically hurting you, you can make through it. Like, you can push through it. It's going to feel weird on the inside, but it's all right.
Yeah.
You're not physically hurt. Like, even if they reject you, you're not physically hurt. Like, your feelings is hurt. So what? Get over it.
Yeah.
But if you do it, like, my whole thing is, if you don't do it, or you get rejected, it's the same result. It's a no. But if you do it and they say yes, that can change. That can change everything for you.
Everything.
One yes can change your life.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? One customer can change your life, but you can't meet that person or that customer just by not approaching or not, putting yourself out there. So I'm going to put myself out there, you know what I'm saying, every time. Because if I don't, I still got to know. So what's the difference?
For sure. Man, it's real. That's a lot right there, man. So like any other episode, man, we getting ready to go into the closing remarks.
Okay.
And all I ask for my guests to do is, man, if there's anything that you can place on the listeners and all the viewers out there, you know, words of encouragement, motivation, you know what I'm saying, help somebody get up today and move forward. You know, what's something you can tell somebody?
Man, so much. But I mean, I guess I would start with like, yo, I would dig back to my clothing brand. Like everything you want is outside of your comfort zone. All right. It's kind of going back to like what I was just talking about. Like, you know, some will, some won't, but so what? You know what I'm saying? Like just keep pushing. Like your comfort zone, nothing grows there. Nothing grows in your comfort zone. So you just gotta be uncomfortable. You have to almost make that your new comfort is being uncomfortable. And when you do that, you will see and have things that you never could imagine that you would have. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll go places, you'll meet people. It's so much that I've been able to acquire and have because of being uncomfortable. So just, you know, be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
For sure. Hey man, them words by LeBron as well, man. You know, that's something he lived by, especially the life he has lived. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
for sure.
So,
I mean, anybody great. Like if you watch any interview or talk to anybody that's done anything great, they're gonna say something about being uncomfortable at some point. You know what I'm saying? And happen to stretch themselves past a certain limit. You know what I mean? You gotta do it.
got to.
Yeah.
Got to. Man, Wayne, bro, I appreciate your time, bro.
Oh man, likewise, brother.
Man, a real amazing guest, man. And I appreciate Wayne so much for coming on, man. I just want to give a shout out to Ambitious Graphics. Shout out to Imagine 584. Shout out to, what's the rental company?
Ambitious Rentals.
Ambitious Rentals. Shout out to them guys. Y'all guys be sure to go tap in with them, man.
So
These guys.
we got a whole conglomerate called the rental plugs. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man.
That's
Y'all
it.
go tap in, bro. Like they having real motion in the middle Georgia area, bro.
For sure.
It's steady growing, man. And hey, that's another EP right there, bro. First of all, hold on. Before we close it out, did you subscribe yet, bro? Did you subscribe? Did you?
That's a good question.
Did you leave a comment? Did you look? Just do me a favor. It will only take a few moments of your time.
Just a second.
Subscribe,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
comment,
That's it.
turn on the notifications.
That's it.
And we good. You my dog. Hey, again, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in to the Gary Watkins podcast. We'll be back. Peace.
Peace.